If he do this with some speed, we shall all end up on the other side of the bucket. Make sense? There you go, yeah. 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 5 and 1. Let's go, big rat. 5 and 1. Yeah. Good. Find some in the butt. Good job. Kick out. Good. There you go. Good thing right here. Wait it up, bitch. Right? For some reason, no. Good. Right into it. Good. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Right. Good. One more in. Good. There you go. Another one up. Good. Show up. Love it, big. Thank you.
What's up, guys? We're back. We got the one and only Jmajor in the building.
What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for taking this time. I appreciate it, man.
Long time no see.
I know.
Long time no
it's been a
see.
minute.
Long
It's been
time
a
no
minute.
see.
Yeah. So we'll get right into it, man.
Okay.
So first off, like just starting off, let's let them know because I know about you.
Absolutely.
But let's talk a little about you and your basketball journey, how you got started.
Well, I've been playing basketball since I was probably about 7 or 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I started probably playing like really competitively when I got to about 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I went to go play with this team called ARC. And that's when that was the first time I really played basketball for a high level club or traveling.
Like
Going
AAU,
AAU type stuff. So right after that, I ended up winning, my first national championship, actually my only national championship when I was 9 years old. We did that out in Orlando at the Disneyland. I think it's like the sports complex, which was an awesome experience. Played against guys like Julius Randle and some other cats that are pretty high level guys in today's game. So fast forward from there, I then go play with a school called Double Pump. I mean, not a school. I then go play with another team called Double Pump for my junior year of basketball. So if you know anything about basketball, your junior year is usually you want to come out and do some things, but Double Pump is usually, at the time they were really a high level team. So from there I got my, I had already had my scholarship from Pepperdine. I committed when I was a sophomore. Probably not the best decision, but but everything seemed right for me. It was close to the house. All the family could come down. My friends could come down and watch the game. And the team was just it was a good, some good guys, some high level guys, and they were genuine too. So, did there, man. Went to Pepperdine, played 4 years at Pepperdine, man. Broke some records, man. Got in the record book a little bit.
Put them all up in here stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Broke, did a little bit of that, and then after that, man, I went to go play professional overseas for. I just did a year. I went to go play in Cyprus. If you don't know what Cyprus is, Cyprus is a little small country right off the coast of the Mediterranean, right near Greece. So just to give you guys some geography. I'm not the best at that, just to give some geography. So did that, man, and that was pretty much the end of me playing basketball. There were some things in between. That happened in between. I did various jobs, tried some various jobs, weren't really for me. I had already been doing training part-time with the guy who used to train me. And he was like, hey man, he kind of just was like, man, I gotta do this or this tonight. You mind taking one of my classes and just, sub them for me? I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was nervous, I'll be honest. I was nervous at first, because I'm like, well shoot. What the hell are we doing out here? What if we starting out and we feeling what we doing? So
they start questioning you.
Yeah, but and then you gotta realize you're like, wait, hold on. These are some kids.
Yeah.
Whatever I say we gonna do. Yeah. Whether you like it or not, you know what I mean? But
you did do it. You got the resume.
Yeah, exactly. But I always have been playing and training are two different things, right? It's two different. You gotta know how to train people. You gotta know how to teach people. You gotta also teach people who may not necessarily know the game that well, right? So things that may be common sense to you as a hooper may not be common sense to the next person trying to learn this.
Everyone's on different levels.
Everybody's on different levels, you know what I mean? So, long story short, man, I went from doing the 7 of training. I had a corporate job that I was hyped about. I had that job for 2 or 3 months.
2-3 months. That was
Man,
it.
and I,
Was it for you?
I said, I'm cool.
Yeah.
You know, money was awesome, but I was like, I'm good. So I ended up taking the training off full time in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Like the beginning of the year, I was just like, you know what, man, I'm about to just quit this job.
Yeah.
So just like anything else you do in life, I started studying, man. I started studying other trainers that have been doing it for a long time. Phil Handy was probably the first dude I studied. Like he's awesome. Like he's awesome. You know, and I pretty much got like my principles of everything from ball handling to like even workout structure from him. And then from there, you know, part of the journey was, you know, just getting in front of other trainers as well. Like
just picking their brains.
Just picking their brains, like understanding, like, you know, in anything you do, you know, you got to get the experience first.
Yeah.
So I was more than willing to go do stuff for no pay.
Yeah.
Just so I could learn. You know what I mean? I was more than willing, and I got some awesome experiences that helped mold me into the type of trainer I'm in today. You know what I mean? I'm still learning now, but you know, I'm saying like it was years ago. I literally was like a year or two ago. So that's really not that far along. But, you know, but you know, yeah, that's how I kind of started, man. I actually had a fun fact where I had to work at UPS like part time because I had I was accustomed to making a certain amount from the corporate job that I had quit after 3 months.
Yeah, you just gotta make up for that conversation.
You gotta make up the conversation, but you know, you gotta realize that a lot of kids couldn't train until the evening time after the evening. So it was one of those things where I was waking up at, you know, I had to be at UPS at 5 a.m. You know what I mean?
Then training at
5 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and then I got training starting like at 3:30. You know what I mean? So
long days.
Yeah, that was a grind for set, you know, and still trying to have a social life. Like at that time, a lot of my college homies were still in town.
Oh, okay.
So they were living in Hollywood.
Trying to link up and stuff.
Yeah, they were living in Hollywood. Some were living in Santa Monica. So I'm getting done with training. I'm mobbing over to West Hollywood. Like, hey, where we are in that? And next, you know, my alarm goes off like at 4 a.m. Like, oh, hey,
gotta do it again.
Gotta do it again. So it was a time, man. It definitely was a time. That was definitely part of my journey, without a doubt. That definitely was part of my journey in the beginning. That was definitely the beginning. You know, that's kind of how I started out in it. Funny enough, I used to be the dude like, you know what, man, I'm not gonna ever be a trainer.
Really?
Yeah. Crazy enough, I used to be like, I'm not gonna ever be a trainer.
Why you say that? It's
just being ignorant, probably, just not really knowing not really knowing the business side of training, right? And I understand that like there's a big market for it. You get to make a lot of relationships and networking with not only the kids but with parents, coaches, other people in the industry. You know what I mean? So basketball is a very big industry, and there's a lot of different careers within it. But the best part about it is like a basketball world is a basketball world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
just all the connections I've started doing these interviews with through basketball, mainly.
Crazy.
Just through high school, AAU.
Yep.
I mean, you trained me a little bit too.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's how
for sure.
When was it when you like woke up and was like, yeah, I'm gonna start doing training? Like this is for me. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say it was necessarily like a day. I think it was more so like when I started doing the subbing, right? When I started like subbing and go, you know, help my old trainer out. Yeah. It was one of like the satisfaction I was having.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the gratification I was having. I'm really enjoying this. Like even from the kids saying like, oh, coach love the workout, good workout. Parents saying good workout. Oh, my kids love working out with you. Oh, coach, we love your energy. Yeah. Stuff like that makes you feel like, oh, okay. This is
it. Doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't feel like work. Because prior to that, driving to work felt like work. You know what I mean? But now, like the train, like even this morning, like we were in the gym this morning at 7 a.m. with a kid, you know, who wants to be in there before school. School's at 8:15, 8:30. He's in there at 7. Let's go. You know what I mean? So it's little stuff like that, man. You know, I'm all about the grind. So you know, when I see kids that want to buy into that, it makes me even more excited.
Easier to work with too.
Easier to work with, man. And then also like what I also love about the training is like trying to like brainwash these kids to be like that. To be a grinder on and off the court. Just understanding what it means to work hard. You know what I'm saying? And be consistent at something. No matter, because the results aren't gonna come right away.
Exactly.
Some results do come right away.
Exactly.
but being persistent, being consistent, dedication, how dedicated, committed.
That separates the difference between those good and great.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because when you don't know where the finish line is, are you willing to keep going?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know where this finish line is, but like, are you willing to keep
push through it?
Because it might be right here in front of you. But you quit. You quit right here. But it was right there. Damn, I only had 2 more steps.
Yeah. After all that work.
That's what I'm saying. You know, so that's one of the biggest things I'm big on, man. But to answer your question, man, I knew my calling for training was after just getting those type of the feedback, just the feedback and the dialogue I was having, and then after that, man, I just dived into it. Yeah, I said, okay, I'm about to really dive into this, and that's when I decided to take it on full time because I had been subbing it and doing it for like 3 months.
Okay, so it's basically like you're already doing it.
I was already doing it. I was doing like a class here and there. Then it started being like a little more consistent. Okay, I got a class each week. Okay, I got 2 classes. Then I'm like,
stacking up.
Then I'm like, well, shoot, let me just do it at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that's kind of how that happened for sure.
I see. So I know we talked about this part a little bit, but what are some things that you do to get the best out of your clients? Like, I know you talked about your energy.
Yeah. Easy, I'm reaching for it. Push over. Good. Right over there. Good. Right over there. Earlier. Come on. Good over. Good job, Audrey. Thank you. Come at me. I'm reaching. Reach over the hand. Push. Thank you. That's all you work on the push. Where we at? Good. Right there. Get closer, AJ. Too far away, bud. Good. To me. Good. Give me that left, girl. Yeah!
I've been seeing your videos and stuff. You come with great energy. And I feel like it already affects the kids, They want to work harder for you.
Most definitely.
You're encouraging them, It's like, oh, it feels good. Like, let me go out here and work harder for, my friend too.
So you're right. Yeah, 100%.
So like, 100%. What are like the steps you take on new clients and things like that too?
The first thing is you gotta build that relationship. Right? You gotta build that relationship. And, because, when it starts, it's like off the meeting, like, man, what's up? Man, what's up, bro? Yeah. Like, what's up, miss? If it's a lady, how's your day going? You doing all right? You ready to get some work in? That's how I am, like when I first meet you, because I usually talk to the parents first. Okay. Unless it's like a college player or a professional player, or I'm usually going to go to the parent usually is who I'm talking to first.
Yeah, because they're the one contacting
Exactly.
you.
Exactly. And I get some kids that hit me in my DMs, but it's over the text. And it usually has to end up me talking to their parents eventually. Yeah. But anytime I see their kid in the gym for the first time, it's just awesome. Like, man, what's up? Like I ain't think about when you ain't seen your homie in a minute. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, what you been on? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's a genuine conversation right there, just to know that. Just so them to know, like, hey, like I'm a regular person just like you. You gonna be like, I'm not sure, like I'm your trainer. Like, I'm not your teacher. I'm not like your head. I'm not the coach at your school that you probably don't enjoy too much. Yeah. We have fun here.
We're playing basketball, something we love.
Exactly. So that in the beginning is just trying to build that, like, just relax. Let's make this a friendly environment. Yeah. And then as we go. Right, they'll see how I act, right? A lot of energy. Oh, okay, coach is like, oh, he's big on details. Okay, and I usually have people that are in the group that have been with me before, so they get the vibe of how they're moving, right? So if you're a new kid, I always say, hey, pay attention to these kids right here. Right, they're gonna help you out. Yeah, like they're gonna help you out, and I do a good job in our gym of making sure the people, whether it's an older kid or a younger kid, if you've been with me, you know what to do. Help the new kids out. Yeah. Right, because if you can teach it, that means you know it. That's true. That means you've been understanding. That means you've been understanding what I've been talking about.
That's you know you're
able to teach it. When you go teach somebody else what you learned, that means you got it down. Exactly. So it's awesome when I see that. It's awesome. I'm like, oh, okay, they know a little something. You know what I mean? And that's what makes the vibe in the gym better. That's what makes it that type of environment, a lot of energy. You know what I mean? It's not only me either too. I work with 2 other awesome trainers. I work with Coach Mike. I work with Coach Brandon, right? And so Coach Mike Teller and Coach Brandon Palmer. So those 2, they bring great energy as well. I'm not the only one in there. At times I am, but shoot, I'm not the only one. The majority of the time, you got somebody in there with me, and we bring a lot of energy together. Yeah. Because like a gym without any energy is a dead gym. Sure. I think about if you went to go work out and there's just nobody talking. no music or nothing. It's just
it's a different vibe.
balls bouncing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if you have music on, it's always good to have communication, dialogue, right? Saying things that matter. And then once you get that aspect of it, once you notice that they bought in, and then now I gotta start. Now I'm pushing. Now I'm in the space of okay, we're about to get on the mental side of this. I'm about to get you tired as heck right now. Can you still work when you tired? Can you still remember the details I talked about? Now we
first workout I did with this man made me throw up. I still remember that.
I tell you. Well, I tell you. But that's what it's about though, because man, anything in life, if you can do it while you're either fatigued or there's something that's distracting you or physically unbearing, if you can still get the task done, you're good to go.
Yeah, sure.
You're good to go. So, that's how I get the kids to lock in, man. Just coming from a cool laid back approach, a lot of energy approach, evaluating them first because everybody's a different level, right? So, as we evaluate you, I'll see how you move. I'll kind of see what I think you need to work on. But I kind of already have an idea from what your parents said, but parents are going to be parents, right?
Yeah.
So I like to always give
a little fluff to it.
Yeah, I like to always give my own evaluation of what they're capable of and what we can improve on. But like I said before, man, but the biggest thing is just being consistent, is buying into what we're going to do in here. So
that was another point I want to talk about.
Yeah.
With new clients, how do you evaluate them? You said
I mean, it's one of those things now, since it's more group based. In a group base, it's one of those things where we'll have like different stations set up. Okay. Some will be harder than others, right? But just most of them, just see how you naturally move with the ball, right? You keep just dribbling and running or doing something at the same time with somebody who may not. You know what I mean? It's like, it's hard to put these two together. You know what I mean? So something as simple as that, like just even to see them dribble up, I'll know a lot. I'll just know a lot. I can just be like, oh, okay, this is definitely something new for me. Or they might have some solid skill. They may, okay, I can see you comfortable with it. Oh, okay. Oh, we just gotta tighten up your footwork a little bit. We gotta tighten up your footwork. We gotta tighten up how you use your body a little bit. We gotta loosen you up, right? You gotta have some rhythm. Hooping is about rhythm. You gotta have some rhythm in the game a little bit, right? So that's how we evaluate, man. I mean, we could easily, if it's a one-on-one session, we could obviously put you through a list of things that we want to hit, some drilling, some passing, just some kind of basic things just to see if you could do those and how you look doing those. But it's basketball, man, and everybody has different goals when it comes to that. That's why my evaluations depend on who the person is. You know what I mean? If I get a parent who's like, oh well, this doesn't know what you think. He's very new to the game. He just wants to get better at it. You know what I mean? My evaluation's not going to be like, okay, we got to get him really work on his mid-range jump shot, because if he wants to play at this level, he doesn't want to do all that. The kid just wants to be a little bit better at basketball. The parent just wants him to be, just to get better. And by getting better, that's what we have to do. Now, as we go, if I know those are your intentions, then my approach to you is different. You know what I mean? That's why I'm always trying to ask, okay, so what is our goal here? What are we trying to get out of this? Because once I know that, then after the evaluation, it's a different. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Hey, trust me. We're good. We have to start coming to this class more often. You'll see him or her get better within a month if you guys can commit to at least 2 or 3 times a week. So I try to give them, like a program of just days, like nothing too crazy. I don't want to be like, hey, the first 2 weeks this is what we're gonna do. For the second 2 weeks this is what we're gonna do. It's just like, hey, if you guys can commit to at least 2 or 3 days out the week, we're gonna see some good results. You know what I mean? Compared to, hey, we need to be hitting this thing like that. Now I guess you get some people you get some new kids that are, they want to be making this team or that team, or they want to be this player or that player, and they need that done in like a month. And it's like you're still a little bit further. You're further back than that. We're just on time.
The fundamentals. And
exactly. So and I think what I pride myself in is being honest, like just being brutally honest.
That's how it gotta be.
You gotta part of my evaluation is being brutally honest with people. Once I know what your goal is, you know what I'm saying? If I know what your goal is, I know what you're trying to do. I'm gonna be honest with you. And that's just what it is. So
And then talking about clients, like say if you had an elite client, do you still teach them the fundamentals first, or do you go straight into
Yeah, no, I mean, I think part of my regimen is, I never want to say fundamentals too much. So if it's say it's a high level player, right? Am I still going through the fundamentals? And the thing about it, I like to do fundamentals too much because it's one of those things that fundamentals for you can be different fundamentals for me, right? Like, even though you can type in fundamentals on Google and you'll get a bunch of different things of fundamentals, right? Ideally, fundamentals are like being able to pass and shoot. Those are fundamentals. But there's a lot more things. Like there's a lot of subcategories in there that have levels into like where you're gonna be at with that. You know what I mean? I could dribble the ball fundamentally like this. Alright? But it's also being able to be fundamental to sit on between the legs. Right?
Being able to protect it, all that.
Right? So like, even though that might be pretty fundamental for us, it may not be fundamental for that person. So even with your high level players, you still have to deal with, like, and nobody's perfect. Everybody has stuff they can work on. And even though we may not be on a lower level or more of a basic level of what we're trying to get them to do, for them and in their level, there's something that they don't do too well. There's some people in their age group or that in their level that do it way better than them, or they're better in these aspects. You know, so every level has its like
things they need to work on.
I feel like every level has its right. It has the things that you should be really good at, right? Like these like the no-brainers, like you should be good at these things, and then like there's another next level to that where it's like, you're good at these, but these people can also do these things very well. So you know what I mean? And like nobody's gonna be perfect. I think when we strive for perfection, though, that's what you want to do.
Exactly.
Nobody's gonna be perfect though, but if we can strive for perfection, we can get pretty damn close. You know what I mean? So in terms of that, man, you'd be surprised. You get like some very athletic kids, right? But they don't have good footwork. It's always something, right? Like it's always something. You know, like they have good footwork, but they don't have good ball control. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got good footwork and ball control, but they don't have any touch.
2K, man, you know we create a player.
Because nobody can be.
You can't have them all
Nobody can be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like Bron is getting to the right. He's gotten better at shooting, but that used to be. You know what I mean?
That used to be his weakness.
Giannis, right? Giannis to the cup.
He's
not really a good shooter though. You feel what I'm saying? He's getting better. He knows that's something he has to work on.
Exactly.
So he's trying to get there.
So as long as he's working at it.
As long as you keep, and that's all that matters. You hit it right on the nose. No matter what it is, if you can look yourself in the mirror and understand, okay, these are things I'm really good at. These are things I'm not too good at. These are my weaknesses. And the good ones can go and look themselves in the mirror and say, okay, I got to get better at these. I'm gonna spend a lot of time working on these things. Right? You get some people that don't want to do that, and they feel like I'm good. I'm good. I'm really good at this.
I'm good enough at it.
I'm really good at this. I don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So, and that's a whole other space that you can get into. But man, everybody got something they can work on. There's the fundamentals of the game can always be tightened up, always be sharpened, because there's different levels of the fundamentals. There's different categories that they can go in. So,
talk about pricing. How do you go about pricing? Is it per client? Do you do it per group?
I do so pricing and rates and all that. I do mine per, like we do groups, but everything is per person. Everything is per person. And that just depends on, what you charge. Everybody's different. Everybody has, whether it's the overhead that they got to keep in mind and different fees that they got to pay or whatever. But a big part of it is just knowing your worth, right? Like
that's true.
You gotta know your worth. You know what I mean? But most things that most careers that you do in life requires you to have some type of education behind it or some type of certificate or something.
Expertise.
Right?
So you have the resume.
Right. Basketball training is an open field. Anybody can go train right now. Moms can go train right now if she wanted to. When I wouldn't be successful, who knows? But anybody can go. You know what I mean? So with that being said, like part of your pricing, part of your rates is like, all right, man, like this is my resume. This is what I think I'm worth. You know? And don't get me wrong, that changes over time. Like when I first started out, I was charging obviously a way less because I'm getting my feet wet. I'm getting my moves in the game. when you're new to the game, you can't. You know, when you're new to the game, you can't be like, I'm charging. You know what I'm saying? I'm charging $300, man.
You don't
know who you are. What do you mean? You know what I mean? That goes back to what I said, right? Like being humble and understanding. Like I was willing to go do things for free, and I'm still willing to go do things.
That's a lot of professionals.
I'm still willing to still do things for free if I know it's going to help me learn or benefit me and some or others in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? So, when it comes to stuff like that, man, it's just knowing your worth. You know what I'm saying? And if you know you're really good at something, and you know, and you really lock in, and you've done your homework, and you clock in every day, and you put the hours in, people know. You know what I mean? And you've been consistent. Like you've been consistent, whether it's in the court, in the gym, you on social media. People always know you're doing something. So then when they finally come around and they're like, hey, okay, I'm gonna get some work in with you. Yeah, this is what it is. You know what I mean? Because in the training world, man, especially them parents and them kids, they'll look you up. Straight up.
Especially the kids with social media.
They'll look you up, man. They'll look you up and try to see what you're about, what you've done. You know, because the parents are investing money into you for their kid. So that means that they come in to see you 2 or 3 times of the week, and they give you X amount. It ain't off some. We're just gonna, we don't know much about them, but we're gonna go ahead and let them go. You know, nah, they did their homework. You know what I mean?
We're gonna let him shoot some jumpers.
Yeah. And so part of that is just having the whole thing together, man. Having the whole package.
Another question I want to ask you is how do you stay in your basketball bag? You know, people keep coming out with new moves. You see Harden with the step back, his Euro. You know, things just coming out every year. It feels like. So how do you stay on top of those moves and teach those to the kids? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I would just being a student of the game. I think where somebody like me, I've always watched games, watched highlight tapes and all that, you know. So before I even had a trainer, that was your training. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I watch YouTube. You know what I mean. I watch N1. That's what you know what I mean. That's what your trainer was. So. I'm still in that bag, man. I think I still, I told you before, I watch Phil Handy. I watch a handful of other trainers, just to see what their style is. Because every trainer has their own niche, and that makes the trainer who he is. So for me, it's learning, studying what they do, putting my own twist to that, adding pieces of what they do, putting it into my own, making it my own little thing. You know what I'm saying? And this, like I said, I recently went to a player development conference in Miami. I was there for 2 days with 100+ other trainers, basketball trainers. And I learned from, I got the opportunity to learn from some.
Make those connections.
Yeah, I got the opportunity to learn from some really awesome trainers, you know. So, and so kind of how I do stuff now, man, is basketball's a really simple game, man. It's very simple. And I think once you understand
the simplicity of it.
Yeah, once you understand the IQ of how the game works. You understand the spacing of the floor, angles of the floor. That's what makes the game easy. You don't need a bunch. There's a lot of people who are very effective who don't dribble a lot. They do a really good job of getting the spots. So it's just different styles, man. You know what I mean? If I know a kid is just wants to also get really good at ball handling, we're gonna do a lot of ball handling. A lot of stuff we're gonna do is involving you doing 2 or 3 dribble combos and things like that, just so you get comfortable with the ball. Right? If you're a player who's higher level, right, and doesn't really need that, okay, now we're talking about the why of things, attacking certain angles. If I go here, what does this help guy gonna do?
And counter for things.
Understanding things like that. More of an instructional conversation of us having dialogue so you can understand the why of this. Because the higher you get, the IQ level rises with you, right? On both sides of the ball. So that's kind of how I stay in it, man. Just doing my homework, being a student of the game still, man, and just being locked in with all that. And also just having an imagination. I just tell kids, man, have an imagination.
And like you said, that rhythm,
when you have an imagination, bro, you'd be surprised what you could think about, what you can do. When you're working out, even if somebody's not guarding you, imagine somebody guarding.
Because you're not going to be playing physical with,
So I'm always going to go gain speed, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what I'm being big on, man. Creativity, imagination, having fun, man, being a student in the game, understanding what's going to be actually applicable. I'm big on that. The work needs to be applicable. The work needs to be applicable. The work's not applicable, it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Doing this for nothing.
The work needs to be applicable, so that's the biggest thing that I would say.
One more thing I see you do, you post your moves and stuff on Instagram and stuff. I see even some of your workouts you post. It's going pretty well and pretty fast. So
appreciate that.
Yeah. So is it growing like word of mouth, clients? Like how do you go about social media?
I think, man, content is king. There's a lot of influencers and other people that I've been on Instagram. Like I would say probably like before the pandemic even started, I just like, man, content. Like just give whatever up. And I kind of just been like true to that. Like no matter what it is, it doesn't need to be perfect. Throw it up there. Put it up there.
Letting people know you're here. Like that's consistent. Like you said, the consistency.
Exactly, and not caring what people think. You know, everybody's not gonna mess with what you put on there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But that's that social media is a market for you. You know what I mean? I got countless people that hit me up on Instagram just want to come get some work in off the Instagram. You know, so it's you know, I do promotions on Instagram. Like it's marketing. You gotta if you want people to know about you without you going and doing stuff, you gotta market. Marketing costs money. Marketing is another word for investing into yourself. Right? Like marketing. You know what I'm saying? Ads, promotions, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? You want to be seen. You know what I mean? So
especially doing all this work, you know, you gotta let it be known and show it.
Exactly, bro. And you know, you gotta understand, man. The more people you can get in front of, the more people you can get. So for me, it's just like, well, I would just put up whatever, you know what I mean? And then as you get, you know, I was putting up my own videos. I was cutting my own film, you know what I mean? I was doing that by myself in the beginning, but now I have somebody that does that for me, you know what I mean? So everything just takes time. Everything takes time, you know what I mean? When you get to a place where you can start delegating certain work, perfect. You know, so marketing is one of those things that you gotta do, man. Social media is by far the biggest marketer out there. Besides word of mouth. Right? Word of mouth is amazing.
But even if you said like they want to reference you, they look you up. They see your social media page. You know what I'm saying?
It's something that you can reference. It's something that has
right away to instant access.
Tangible stuff that you can see. Oh wow, okay. They go from there. They go to a website. Oh wow, okay.
Exactly.
Now I want to go do it. Now I can see. I want to inquire about it. Now I'm at the gym.
Exactly.
Simple as that. You know what I mean?
So closing up statement. Let's one time your social handle.
Man.
Anything you got going on or want to promote as well?
Shoot, man. Check me out, y'all. My name is Jmajor. My Instagram handle is MajorHoops3. My website is MajorHoops3.com. That's also on my Instagram. I will be getting a TikTok that will most likely be MajorHoops3.
There we go.
So man, check it out. If you guys are ever in the Pasadena area or in the St. La Cañada area, I also am a assistant coach over at St. Francis High School in the La Cañada area. So that's if you guys are ever around there, let me know. If you guys ever have any questions or looking for any work, man, or just want to get some workouts, look out the Instagram, check out the Instagram, and much love to my boy right here, man. You got an awesome thing going here, bro. So I appreciate you for giving me the honor to be on here, man. It's been love, and man. Check it out, man.
Check my boy out, man. He's gonna get you right for sure.
It's love.
He's gonna get you right. I promise you that.
It's love. Always, right?
Yes, sir.
Always.
And we out.